Hey guys, today we are discussing character creation tips and it is the fantasy edition. So let's begin. So, firstly, what is a character? So, character is basically the first impression of your book, and character making a character may seem very easy, just name him or her anything, just like name her Rosanna or anything, but that's not the case. Actually, your character basically defines your understanding, everything, as you're the creator of the character. So, characters are of three types. We'll be discussing the types later on. Naming a character is very difficult. So it may seem easy, but it should have definite origins, either in respect to people or in respect to their stance. Now, what does this mean? In respect to people means why did the people give him or her the name? So that is in respect to people. In respect to their stance is basically the meaning of their name. So the meaning of their name should be declaring their stance. But if you have both in one name, that is like the best thing. So, for example, Epona plus Cura. Epona basically and Cura and are two goddesses. So we could imagine from this that her mother basically wanted her to be wit. So yeah. The second one is Scandile. Scandile arrives from the French and English word scandal and scandale. So scandal basically is a bad word. So scandal, you can actually, understand that scandal is someone bad, right? Third is Chrissy. So if you haven't read Chrissy Ballab and the Tribe of Enigma yet, do read it. So Chrissy, Epicure, and Scandal, all of them are characters in that book. So Chrissy means Christmas, and it is basically Christmas is in respect to the people, because Christmas, what happened in Christmas after a lot time slavery, there was a savior which was born, and that's the exact thing with Chrissy, and that's why we can understand why her mother named her Chrissy. So that is in respect to people. Character stance. The stance of the character is what it supports. Many a times, the stance is evident by the name. For example, Scandile. Scandile, it was clearly visible that Scandile is going to be someone who's going to turn bad. But many are those whose stance itself can be a cliffhanger or a plot twist. So, for example, if there's any character who seems really good at the start but turns bad, or seems really bad at the start or turns good, that is a plot twist. If there's any character whose stance is the basic problem, that could be a storyline too. You want to know a character's stance because you do not understand what he or she does. He or she just stays quiet. So, what is his or her stance? Is she bad or good? Half the people are suspecting she's bad, half the people are suspecting she's good, and now there's a fight. So, that could also be used as a cliffhanger. So now many of you have asked what a cliffhanger is. A cliffhanger is basically one point into the book where the reader basically the reader is kept in question. Now there can also be a few characters with no stance, which is the third type. So what do you mean by characters in no stance? I mean either a character has to be good or bad or in the middle, right? But there are some characters which are side characters, not very evident, which basically you do not need to define the stance for them. I'm giving a very simple example. For example, a character of yours goes into a hotel. So they see a waitress. So that waitress, now we don't know her stance, right? And you don't need to actually define her stance over there if you're not keeping her as a main character. So those are characters with no stance. Now we come to our last point, character understanding, which I've talked about before too, that you have to relate everything of the character. So here's an example. Vera is a character in my book who is very mischievous. So she's interested in clothing. She likes modern clothing. She does not like frocks or anything like that. She likes more of a modern clothing like plazos, t-shirts, etc. She likes creative things, she likes fooling around, and she likes something different. That somehow relates to mischievous. She likes food, she likes birds, and she likes the science stone. So I am sorry I cannot reveal what the science stone is because it comes in the second book. So she dislikes studying. She dislikes old way of life, and she dislikes life with Audrey. So Audrey was basically their foster mother. She also dislikes the enigma. So the enigma was basically a theory which made them turn evil. Her traits were kind and loving, and she looked like a small cute kid with flicks on her forehead. So this whole thing, can you relate it somehow with mischievous? If your answer is yes, then this character is clearly very understood. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to press that thumbs up button. Thank you.